Hello, my friends. We are at our fourth session of 1-2 Flex. So today, or sorry, this evening, we are going to be going into some lower back stretches. So we're actually going to do all of our movements in supine. So supine just means lying on our backs, okay? The only prop you may want around is a strap. Okay, so if you don't have a strap, you can use a towel, scarf, belt, anything like that. Okay. Um, so why don't we just dive right in? Make sure you're hydrated, make sure your space is ready so you have a little bit of space to move as we go through these lower back stretches. So let me scoot on back. But like I said, we're going to come onto our backs and get into it. So let me adjust my camera here. There we go. We'll come on down. So take your time coming down on to your back here. And you know what? For the sake of my mic, I'm going to put it beside me. All right. So we're going to start off with a little bit of hip mobility. So my feet are grounded, knees to the sky. My hands can just hang out beside me to my belly, above my head, whatever feels good, okay? The hands do not matter right now. I am going to walk my feet out a little bit. And I'm going to let both my knees fall to the left. They may come to the ground, they may not, that's fine. Bring one up to the right. So we're going through some windshield wipers, letting our knees fall side to side. Okay, they don't have to move perfectly in time with the other. Just go as far as it feels good, okay? Breathing nice and deeply through it as we start off this session. Good. Awesome. So I'm going to slowly bring my knees back up here. So we are going to get first into, let's do our figure four stretch. Now I'm going to give you a couple options for the figure four. So, of course, classic figure four, we cross our foot on top of the thigh, foot flexed. We bring the whole shape in, grab between our thighs, and pull it in. Now, if you're like me, you got some thighs, but not necessarily going to work. So we can use a strap in that case. Let me grab mine. But you know what? Actually, let me backtrack a minute. We can go by just hanging out here. We don't even have to lift our foot off the ground. You can bring it in a bit, you can come onto your toes, but as long as your top leg or the one leg is lifted and ankle is crossing over the opposite thigh, and you're really thinking of that knee pushing open, finding some space in the hip, that's good. You don't actually have to do more. But if you want more, if you want a deeper stretch, that's when we use the strap or lift the shape up using our hands to grab onto our thighs. So if we're using a strap, you loop it around the belly of the thigh, not the knee joint, okay, the belly, and come into the shape, lift the shape up, and we pull on to the strap, okay? So whatever option you want, I want you to come into that shape, okay, whether your figure four is lifted or to the ground. I do want you to think of squeezing the leg of the knee that's open to open up. Okay, if it feels good, or if your foot is grounded, you can actually use your hand to push that leg open to find some space in your hips, which actually will in turn give you some space in the lower back. So wherever you're at, let's hold for another 3, 2, 1. I want you to gently lower the shape if it was lifted. Come on out. We're going to stay with just this one side. So the top leg is the side we're going to stay with for now. And we're going to go into a knee to chest stretch. So again, we have the option of the strap looping around the belly of the muscle. Extending the other leg out, drawing that heel into the ground, pulling the knee into the chest. Okay? Of course, if you feel comfortable, use your hands to pull the leg in. Okay, really think of the knee in line with the hip. It's not opening out. Staying nice and centered. And on every inhale, you can maybe release your arms just a little bit. Exhale, pull the leg in. Good. Just take a couple moments here, breathing deeply. Good. From here, I'm going to flex my foot. We're going to turn it into a half happy baby. Again, we have the option with a strap. In this case, we move it away from our thigh, loop it around our foot. Okay, same hand as the same leg, pulling it in. If you are okay not using a strap, you can grab the outside of your foot or inside. And again, we let our shoulders come down. We pull our knee, strap or not, we pull the knee down beside our rib cage. Okay, we're thinking of the tailbone pushing into the ground, our shoulders pressing into the ground, just for a half happy baby. Okay, breathing deeply. Good. So we are going to gently release it, bring it back into the knee to chest stretch, okay? Again, strap could be looped around the thigh. If we're using the strap, we're going to move that strap into the opposite hand. If we're using our hand, we just grab the outside of the thigh. My opposite arm is going to extend out in line with my shoulder. It's going to kind of be the balance support. And I'm going to pull my leg across my body, kind of coming onto my side. My leg and knee may or may not touch the ground. This side of my body is tight, so I know it is nowhere near it, and that is fine. I do want to keep my shoulders grounded here, okay? So if your shoulders are coming up, but your knee touches the ground, bring the shoulder back down. I'd rather your leg hang in the air. So for this one, we're letting gravity do most of the work. We're getting a nice gentle stretch in the glute and in the lower back, pulling that knee in towards our chest and down towards the floor for a deeper twist. And I want you just to breathe nice and deeply here. On the next exhale, gently come back through center. Release the strap or your leg. Bring the foot down. We're going to do that whole sequence again on the other side. Okay, so take a moment, readjust however you need. I'm going to use a strap for this figure 4. So in this case, I will loop it around my thigh, bringing it down, opposite leg comes on top, foot flexed, pulling the shape in. Remember, you can keep the foot grounded, pushing the knee open, breathing deeply wherever you're at. So you may have noticed we're doing a fair amount of hip stretches here. That is right, because the lower back is usually affected by the hips. The lower back isn't actually a lot of muscles. It is a few for sure, do not get me wrong, but it's mostly affected by the hips. Okay, when the hips are acting up, the low back will act up, and vice versa. So we want to give some love to these hips, and of course, this is the way to do it. So take one more deep breath here. Exhale slowly, release. We turn it into knee to chest, grabbing onto the back of the leg with the strap or with your hands, pushing the opposite heel into the ground, pulling the knee in, breathing deeply. Good. And remember, if your leg wants to open out, really try and pull it in to be in line with the hip. Good. When you're ready, I'm going to turn it into that half happy baby. So we can release the strap around our thigh, loop it around our foot, or lift up. Grab the inside or outside of your foot. Bring the knee to the side of the rib cage. Pull it down. Make sure the shoulders are grounded, the tailbone is into the ground. Getting into those hips. Breathing deeply. The foot I'm holding on to is flexed. Wonderful. You're going to very slowly release. Bring it back to knee to chest. Opposite arm grabs onto the strap or the outside of the leg. Other arm opens out in line with the shoulder. Bring that leg around. Okay? So you can turn your head to look towards the open arm. It's a nice little pec stretch right there too. But keep thinking shoulders are both grounded. It's the knee we're pulling in and down. Good. And again, we're just letting gravity do the work. You can close your eyes if you feel safe. And just breathing deeply. Good. Take one more deep breath here. Exhale. Come back around. Release your legs. We are going to come up close and come into our child's pose. So we have the option of rolling to our side using our form to prop us up, or my favorite, a little bit of a self massage, tucking both knees into your chest, curl your chin in to protect your neck, and we're going to use our legs to create some momentum and just rock and roll. You can do it as many times as you want until you're upright. We'll swing around, big toes together, knees nice and wide, sit it back, arms come forward. I really want you to think of your tailbone curling in to your belly button here. Let your forehead rest. Good. You can hang out here as long as you like. But that does bring us to the end of our 1, 2 flex class. So let me shimmy myself back on over. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know how you're feeling. I know my hair is feeling some kind of way from being in that positioning. But I hope you are feeling good. I hope you feel good with that little bit of movement. Tomorrow, we have our dynamic leg stretch video or stretch class in the morning. And in the evening at this time, we have our seated flexibility flow. So definitely you're going to want to be there for that. And of course, if you're liking these videos, you're going to want to check out the Garden, my online flexibility and fitness library. It is going on sale for Black Friday, but of course, that's all in the description, all that kind of good stuff. But I hope I will see you tomorrow, bright and early, for our dynamic leg stretch. Until then, stay hydrated, get some rest, and I will see you soon.